Armstrong, and this is my warm-up. So first, before we begin anything, make sure that you have a straw, where that's going to be used later in one of our exercises. And once you grab that, we are going to first ground ourselves. So by doing this, we're going to find the points of contact with our feet to the ground, place your feet firmly, make sure the alignment of your feet and your shoulders is correct. Put your arms by your sides, and then make sure your shoulders are down, and using the crown method, just find that alignment. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here. So we're now going to start with the spine round. So keeping that alignment, we're first going to drop our head towards our chin. Really stretching the neck, let it sit there for a few moments. And then slowly start to roll down your spine towards your feet. Go vertebrae by vertebrae, please don't rush this. And when you get to the bottom, make sure that your upper body is completely free of tension, and we'll take a few breaths here. Once you feel that tension release, shake your head yes, shake your head no. And wiggle your arms a little bit just to really release control of your upper body. And then hang there. When you're ready, slowly start to roll up the body, vertebrae by vertebrae, being very conscious of how you're aligning each one on top of each other. Slowly let the head come to the top. And take 2 deep breaths. We're going to do this one more time. So again, starting down with your neck, and then slowly rolling. Shake yes. Shake no. Wiggle it out. And then slowly rise back up at a pace that feels good for you. Find that alignment. Notice if there's a difference in the tension in your upper body. Now we're going to move on to vibration pools. And these begin by starting on your knees, facing the side like this. And if this is hard on your knees, find the position that feels most comfortable for you. And then we're going to slowly go to the child's pose, stretching the back, putting your arms out at a comfortable distance. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here. We're now going to add sound to it, or a release of vibration. So on the out breath, we're going to make the huh sound. And first we're going to do this in very short sequences. So like huh, huh. Let's try that. Huh, 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 huh. And make sure this is breathy. It's a breathy sound. Releasing those vibrations through your mouth. Now try to do an elongated version of this. So, feel the vibrations leaving your body. Let's now switch to a hum, and do it in short sequences. And now elongate it. And while you're doing this, really check in with your posture, if it feels good for you, and if it doesn't, adjust it. We're now going to slowly come up to where you're resting on the heels of your feet, hands planted in the ground, and we're going to do the same thing again. Ha, 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 ha. Close your eyes if that helps you as well. Let's go on and really visualize the vibrations touching your lips, and then when you're opening your mouth, those vibrations are leaving your body. And now, like coming up from a spine roll, we're going to slowly roll where our legs are straight, but we're still in ragdoll position. We're going to hang here for a second. And then we're going to slowly come up, back to alignment. We'll take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We are now going to move on to our straw exercises, so make sure you go and grab that straw that you got earlier. So first, before we begin, let's make sure that we are doing this exercise correctly. You're going to want to blow only through the exit of the straw and nowhere else, so air should not be escaping from any other part of your mouth. And to test this, we can just simply blow through our straw, feel it with our hand to see. If you're only feeling the breath of the straw, you're doing it correctly. We're also going to be doing some noises as well. So kind of making noise through the straw. And you know you're doing this correctly, that if you're making the noise, when you pinch your nose, that noise doesn't change. I'll give an example. So though you're feeling a vibration through the straw, it's not necessarily a hum. So it should not be, your nose should not be involved. Okay, so let us begin by putting the straw in your mouth. and just letting out our air on a note. You can pick any pitch you choose. And repeat it. Make sure you're letting out all your breath while you're doing this so you can take a full breath after. Also make sure that you're using your abdominal muscles to really pull in that deep breath. Let's do a few more of these at the elongated note. So now we're going to do it quite differently, or a little differently. We're now going to do a pitch glide, which is going from where we feel like we can hit the lowest notes to where we can hit the highest notes. I'll give an example and then we'll do it together. And continue to do that. A note, although the sound that's coming out of the straw is less, you should be using an equal amount of effort. This exercise is very good at reducing vocal strain and controlling your breath. Now, this is kind of a fun part. You can choose a chorus of verse from your favorite song and sing that through the straw. I'm going to be doing Fat Bottom Girls by Queen because that's one of my favorite songs. Not my favorite, but it's one that I feel is good for this exercise. So let's do it together. So for our final exercise today, we will be doing a tongue twister. This is not one we've done in class before, but personally it is a favorite of mine, and it is the hardest one I've ever done. I still have problems with it, and I might even mess up, so it's completely okay if you mess up. I'm gonna say it first, and then we will continue on from there. So it goes: to sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. This is definitely a mouthful, but we're going to take this piece by piece and promise you we'll be able to change the speeds by the end. I have it written down here, so you don't have to have it fully memorized, and we can take it line by line. So I'll say it and then repeat it. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Great job. Now that we have done a callback, we're now going to try to say this all together. We'll do it very slowly. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Let's speed it up. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Now, if you messed up, that's totally okay. But let's challenge ourselves and try to take it a little faster. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Okay, let's try it one more time. So as fast as you can, do it at your own pace and try it out. And if you mess up, that's perfectly okay. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big black block. Good job. That was my final exercise. Really notice how, even when you're speaking now to when we've begun this warm-up, if your voice feels clearer. I honestly do feel a clearness in my voice. I feel less tension in my back, and I feel overall warmed up. So thank you so much for joining me.